You're watching 7 News Detroit this morning at 7 on TV 20.
Good morning and thank you so much for waking up with us as we take this live look from Southfield. It is Thursday, December 12th. This is Live Drive making its way towards the Orchard Lake exit on 696, and the weather that is moving through. The first batch has had a big impact on the roads, and there's still more snow out there and sub-zero wind chills. It is a messy Thursday morning. Well, good morning. I'm Keenan Smith. The roads are icy and we've seen dozens of accidents overnight. Let's get right to 7 Traffic's Allie Hoxie. Allie, the roads have been a mess because of all that snow out there. Where's the biggest problem right now?
Well, the biggest problem right now is eastbound I-96 at Telegraph, where we only have one lane open. I don't know if we're able to pull up our MDOT camera in this area, but we're only moving 2 miles an hour in this spot. You can see it's looking more like a parking lot out there this morning, but it's not just this location. Heading back now to our maps, you can see we do have, a handful of crashes too at this moment. But really anywhere you go, it's going to be a slow morning commute. Southbound I-75 just past 696, that's moving 22 miles an hour. There's not a crash there. Also not a crash westbound I-94 near Telegraph, but we're still moving 9 miles an hour. So it is a dicey morning commute. The roads are snowy. Some spots might be icy. Beware of your bridges, your overpasses. Those tend to ice up a little bit quicker. For a live look now at the freeways, we want to send it on over to 7 News Detroit reporter Ryan Marshall. He has been in 7 Live Drive all morning long, kind of going all throughout the Metro Detroit area since 1 o'clock this morning to see what the roads are like. What are you seeing out there right now? Has there been any change from earlier this morning to now?
Well, Allie, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody out there. And to answer that question, no, there hasn't really been a whole lot of change depending on where you're at in the city. Right now, we are westbound on I-696 in Farmington Hills, about a half mile east of the Orchard Lake Road exit. And right now, just looking out at 7 Live Drive, the roads are pretty snow covered. There are some tire tracks out here. People are going a little bit faster than they had been. We're going about 35, 40 miles an hour, so still slower, significantly slower than the speed limits here, but certainly a messy road out here, not just here, but throughout the metro area. We happen to talk to some motorists who are out here, have been out here for hours now, and this is what they experienced as they were driving on the highways and side streets.
It's pretty bad out here, very slippery conditions. I would definitely drive safe if you're heading into work, but we're out here solid, making things happen.
We knew that we were going to get snow, but was it more
Not
than
this much? I didn't expect this much, I'll tell you that.
The slick, whiteouts. I was driving like 10 miles an hour, up 12 miles.
What sort of advice would you give to people out here in this condition right now?
Drive slow and try to pay attention.
Yeah.
Don't speed.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on the road.
That is some very good advice for anybody that is driving out here on the roads. And so very messy out here on westbound I-696, very messy in a lot of places all over the metro area. We are live in 7 Live Drive here in Farmington Hills at the Orchard Lake Road exit on westbound I-696. I'm Ryan Marshall for 7 News Detroit this morning.
All right, a really busy and messy morning out there. Thank you so much, Ryan. Well, we go from the highways to the surface streets. 7 News Detroit reporter Brittany Toulis is live in Southfield this morning. And Brittany, you've been along one of the main roads in the area, Telegraph Road. What's it looking like there in the 7 o'clock hour?
Yeah, Keenan, there is even more cars out on these roads, and you guys mentioned the wind a lot, and I want to just show you, you can see the flags behind me. This shows how strong these winds are. So even though the snow has stopped falling from the sky here, the snow from the sides, from the sidewalks is getting blown out onto the road every time we see a big wind gust. We got a car slowing down in front of us right here. But you can see these roads are all pretty evenly slush covered right now. And we're seeing some cars when they're turning right, and then you're going to see some people possibly try to get over to make that Michigan left here on Telegraph Road. That's where we're seeing a lot of people slow down, laying on their horns because they're kind of blasting down Telegraph and then slowing down right away like the road is not slush covered. But since the road is slush covered, they're having a little hard time braking here. Now that's kind of the main thing we've been seeing here, is also cars having their wheels spin a little bit when their light turns green, but The roads are not terrible, but they are slick and kind of ice covered. We talked to a few people this morning who were out on these roads prior to the majority of these commuters. Just take a listen to what the roads were like just a couple hours ago.
They're slippery. It feel like the salt trucks haven't came out yet, and you gotta be careful. Leave out early, drive slow, and keep a distance between the car because everybody's slipping and sliding.
Real mushy, real slushy. It's just slippery, so everybody be safe.
Still pretty mushy and still pretty slushy here. And one thing about the mush and slush is even if it's being melted by the cars driving over it, it's cold enough to refreeze, and it's building up more on the sides of the roads near the curbs as opposed to the middle of the roads. So you're out on these streets, just know by the curbs are a little more slick. If you're making turns, it's going to be a little more slick. So leave early, give yourself some space on the roads, and slow down. Also, if you see a salt truck, give them some space too, because you want the salt to hit the road and not ruin your paint job on the front of your car. So we'll be here watching these roads, but for now, live in Southfield, I'm Brittany Toulis for 7 News Detroit this morning.
Yeah, and that's Southfield. You know that the neighborhood roads and the streets in the neighborhoods are likely completely untouched, and that's where you'll find the kids in the school buses. So got to be careful out there. Brittany Toulis live for us this morning in Southfield. Thank you, Brittany.